Not feeling too well at the moment. Got a case of World Cup fever. Yeah. I'm Statman Dave. This is tomorrow's Transfers Today, where we review all the paper's news before you guys get it and give you our thoughts on whether it's absolute rubbish or it sounds like a good bit of business for Manchester United. There's a number of things that we will be talking about today. The big news, PSG, Verratti, Paul Pogba, more on that later on. Of course, if you haven't already, go over to the FullTimeDEVILS channel after you've watched this video. Go and check out Stephen Howson's transfer review, where he talks about Rakitic, Kroos, and of course the big man, Mauro and Fellaini. Of course, over the whole video, I'll be getting into the comments and interacting with you guys. So any questions, any remarks, any things that you feel about what I'm saying, get them into the comments, guys. That's what the comments are for chatting about football and those types of things. Today, of course, we're going to go through a number of pieces of news. We're going to be talking David De Gea. We're going to be talking Luke Shaw. We're going to be talking Fekir. We're going to be talking Rooney. And, of course, Marco Verratti. So get into the comments right now. Would you want to see Verratti at Manchester United with Pogba or without Paul Pogba? Get into the comments straight away. But anyway, guys, let's get through the news. First up, the David De Gea story in the Express. Utter rubbish. Utter absolute rubbish. Pure speculation, quoting pure speculation for the MEN, and we all know about how much the MEN talks a load of dump. It pretty much goes into the, it sort of starts to talk about the Bernabeu crowd. Nothing about any reports or anything actually concrete. It talks about the Bernabeu crowd and how they were booing Keylor Navas, and that's why they're writing a story about David De Gea leaving Manchester United and moving to Real Madrid. What a load of rubbish. How do these guys still print those stories? Get it into the comments. How do they do it? Is it magic? What is it? It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, David De Gea in the World Cup hasn't had the best of tournaments so far. I think from about 6 shots on goal, he's only saved one of the shots. But it was a really good save, 1v1 today against Morocco, of course, the World Cup in full flow. It's absolutely amazing. But David De Gea, of course, in the Premier League saved around 8 out of 10 shots at him. So he's maybe having a little bit of a blip, but with Spain, you expect him to make the big saves on the big moments. The goal that one of the goals he conceded today was from a corner. The other one was a 1v1 after Spain just lost possession in such a dangerous area. And he actually saved the 1v1 later on, guys, so don't worry about that. But this story from the Express is utter rubbish. What do you guys think? So let's get into the comments right now. Just having a bit of a read. Verratti wouldn't be a good fit for the Premier League. I really don't rate him. Hell no. I think that's also about Verratti. What's Dave's surname? That's a secret. It's my surname is actually Dave. Statman is my first name. Dave loves United. That is completely correct. This is a lovely shirt as well. The 68 sort of memorial shirt Adidas put out. Absolutely beautiful. Really fits really well. Feels really comfortable. So if you guys, obviously want to go and check it out, just Google it. You should be able to find it, guys. But what do you guys think about David De Gea? That's what we're talking about first. It's David De Gea and how much the Express is talking rubbish. He's going to stay at United, right? For the rest of his career. That's completely correct, guys. Absolutely correct. And no, unfortunately, I've got producer Chris in the comments putting rumours out there that my surname is in fact Daddy. That is incorrect. It is Dave, Statman Dave. It makes sense. Producer Chris, do your research, buddy. Anyway, guys, smash that like button, of course. Brad knows the story. Hit the like button. I've already hit it. We're on 26. Let's see if we can get to around 100 for the video, and I'll be a happy Statman. But anyway, the David De Gea stuff is just pure, absolute crap. David De Gea won't be leaving Manchester United in the summer, and Real Madrid have already showed interest in other goalkeepers, the likes of Alisson over at Roma, which would be quite funny considering Liverpool want to buy him if they beat Liverpool in the Champions League final. Then still the goalkeeper they want. That'll be a classic transfer window from Real Madrid. But guys, let's move on to the next story, because that was just a whole load of rubbish. The next one's Luke Shaw. Quite interesting. He's been pictured in Ibiza having a good time. Every 22-year-old deserves to have a good time. But there has been some comments about his physique and so forth after being rather unfit for Manchester United this season, playing only 19 appearances and failing to make the matchday squad on 18 of those matchday squad. So it's one of those things where what is going on with Luke Shaw? But apparently the Manchester Evening News have wrote an article saying that Luke Shaw may be signing a new deal at Manchester United. At the moment, he's got a contract until 2019. He did have a year left, but United have an automatic trigger in his contract, so he's now into 2019. But, we keep saying this every single year. It's got to be Luke Shaw's year this season. And it just hasn't. Every single time, it just hasn't sort of fulfilled what we want as Man United fans. There's so many moments where he looks really, really good, but it's that consistency, it's that week in, week out that, arguably Ashley Young gives you a 7 out of 10, 6 out of 10 every single week. yeah, you may not win Premier League titles with Ashley Young there, but he's a better option than Luke Shaw in my personal opinion. What do you guys think? Obviously, Stephen Alson doesn't really understand football and is hates Ashley Young. Ashley, call me. But anyway, guys, so that's sort of what's going to go down there in terms of the news. Other sort of left-backs that have been really linked with United in the last few weeks. Of course, Alexandro, apparently Juventus pricing United out of a move for Alexandro, wanting around 60 million euros, which is a lot of money, or 60 million pounds, sorry, so even more euros. But the other guys have been linked. Philip Max from Ashburg. I did actually a little video on my channel, so go and check that out after you've watched this, which is, of course, looking at him, the German fullback, 12 assists in the Bundesliga. Pretty decent player going forward. Defensively, maybe not quite a Mourinho player, but, go and check that out. But he could be a good signing. But for Luke Shaw, I think it's probably time to move on. What do you guys think? Do you think that United should offer him a new deal to get a bit more money out of the transfer? What do you guys think? That's what I want to know. I'm getting back into the comments, lads and ladies. Michael, stats are life. Correct, Michael. Stats are life. Life is stats. It's an equation that works together so well. We're going to keep going down into the comments. What do I think of Gaia at left back? I like him. Whenever I watched quite a bit of Valencia last season because it was so exciting at the start of the year when Guardes was really in form. He's sort of hit a really bit of a blip in his sort of patchy form at the moment. With Valencia at the end of the season, and he's not looked so good in the Euros. Got dropped today for Andre Silva, of course, partnering Ronaldo up top. But in terms of Gaia, I like him. I think he's a really good player. It's weird how Valencia always make these good sort of left fullbacks. You're thinking Bernat, the one that was at Bayern Munich. You're thinking Jordi Alba. Loads of good players sort of come through the Valencia Academy that are left-sided defenders, and Guy's another one that's really, really good. I quite like him from what I've seen from Valencia. He's a little bit more switched on both going forward and defensively than, let's say, Philip Max, or let's say, what Luke Shaw can do in the final third. I think Guy would be an upgrade there. So it could be a good transfer, but I think with Dalot in there, it's going to be really interesting to see what Mourinho does with what United have. But I do agree, there's some guys there. Rafael Guerreiro. What's my opinions on Rafael Guerreiro? Rafael Guerreiro, about 2 years ago, was probably my favourite fullback in sort of world football in terms of young fullbacks. At that point, he was applying his trade in France, and he was really good. One of the best young players over there. His stats were a joke in terms of like dribbles and in terms of tackles. They were like N'Golo Kante levels from fullback. And I really liked him then, and he went to Borussia Dortmund under Thomas Tuchel and was really, really good. Like, again, he was insane. He was sort of one of those players who's playing centre mid, who's playing centre half. A bit like, players that we've seen in the past, like David Alba at Bayern Munich. And he looked really good under Tuchel, but this season he's been poor. Watching him tonight against Iran, he was poor. So it's one of those weird things where is Mourinho going to want someone that's not defensively stable? Absolutely not. More comments. Brad, Dave, is a centre-back or a right-winger bigger priority than left-back? I think left-back for me is the biggest one right now. I think we've got a right-back potentially in Dalot that could be the guy for the future. From what I've seen of him, he looks absolutely fantastic. So the left-back hole is the one that we need to solve first. Guy has just signed a new contract. That's never really stopped anyone moving before. Especially with Manchester United, it just means that you've got more, more hype and so forth. More money that they're going to get when they let him go. But yeah, keep going on, guys. Keep getting the comments in, and we'll move on to the second point of discussion, or the third point of discussion, should I say, which is Fekir. So the Lyon president is having a bit of a laugh with Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, put a big bid in for Fekir. Fekir failed the medical. Fekir's got bad knee problems, where he pretty much is like Ledley King, where he doesn't train for like a period of time. Every like 3 weeks he'll have like 3 or 4 days off because his knees are that bad. So Liverpool had that medical and they decided, look, we're not going to sign him. But of course the Lyon president, alas, who's a great guy, really built Lyon from the ground up in terms of bringing sort of players from Africa, the likes of Michael Essien, and really improving Lyon's the club by getting that money in from Michael Essien transfers and other transfers. Spending money on the youth system. Now we're seeing players like Samuel Umtiti, Diakabe, players who are coming through at the moment that are very, very good footballers. But in terms of what he mentioned in the press, he was talking about Mourinho. I was with Mourinho the other day. We had a long discussion. What does that mean, guys? Get in the comments. Is that Memphis Depay returning to Manchester United, or potentially Diakabe coming, or what? Maybe the 19-year-old midfield sensation, or everything that we want is Raphael back at Manchester United. Transfer rumours started right now on a Monday night, whatever day of the week it is. The World Cup of fever is blowing the days out of the wall. But anyway, back into the comments, guys. Who was Mourinho meeting about? Was it Memphis Depay? Gonna get back into the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep getting those likes in. Keep getting those subscriptions into Full Time Devils, because these guys absolutely rock. I caught a video from Full Time Devils actually that Sam Homewood tweeted today, which is an interview with a young Jess Lingard when he was at Brighton. Go and check that out as well. That was an absolute sick video. Fekir is best as a second striker. If we're going to play two up front, he's class. I completely agree, Dennis. When I really liked Lyon was when they had Fekir Lacazette up front as a two. Fekir plays in behind Lacazette. They had a really good relationship and understanding together how they moved. Fekir this season's either played as a false nine, hence why Liverpool probably want him to maybe have a replacement for Firmino when he's not fit or when he's not scoring. Or alternative, Firmino's been a number 10 in like a 4-3-1-2 in a way, like a bit of a diamond, playing in behind. So talented, such a talented player. It's been so sad his injuries over the last few seasons, keeps hitting top form, keeps being Lyon's best player, and then bam, an injury will break him down. But it's very, very sad news, guys. Would Depay really want to come back? He looks like he's enjoying himself. No, yeah, it's a fair point. Depay looks like he's playing some really good football again. And I think with football, you've got to remember in your career, reasonably short. So if you're playing some good football, maybe Lyon is the place for Memphis Depay. Maybe he can become the lion over there he's always wanted to be. Dave is boring. I completely agree. He's so boring. He knows absolutely nothing about football. Why not they give it to Adam McCullough? Because he knows absolutely nothing about football, but at least he's quite funny. It's one of those things, isn't it? I completely agree with the comments right there. Absolutely beautiful stuff, guys. We're going to be moving on now to the next big talking point, and that is Wayne Rooney. Looks like he's heading all the way over to America for DC United. Again, the BBC reporting that the move is pretty much agreed, and Rooney will go over there and sort of move to America, which is, it's nice for Wayne Rooney. I don't think it quite worked out for Everton. I don't think Everton played their best football when he was in their side. I think he looks a little bit off the pace. I think it's, the MLS could be a perfect time for Wayne Rooney. What the MLS has been doing recently, a lot of the successful teams are signing like younger players, like around 26, 27, 28. They're a designated player, of course, Wayne Rooney coming in as the designated player for DC United, I do believe. But he'll be a bit older, where I potentially would play him if I was the DC United coach as a striker. We've seen what Zlatan has done already for LA Galaxy. Those goals that he scored, unbelievable. But I think Wayne Rooney could be really good in the MLS, back as a striker, not as a midfielder. What do you guys think about that? In the comments. Of course, for Manchester United, Wayne Rooney scored 253 goals in just 559 appearances. Lovely stuff. Wayne Rooney, what an absolute champion. So many good goals for United. And he'll go over to MLS and he'll sort of light it up. He really will. Because I think he's still got enough to really destroy teams in the MLS or so forth. I thought he was coming back to Manchester United. Love Statman Dave, thank you. Of course, the boring comments were a little bit upsetting, but keep that positivity in there. Hashtag Statman to save. Here we go. Gelson Martins should be looked at. Gelson Martins doesn't have a contract at Sporting Lisbon, but apparently you have to pay some sort of compensation to Sporting Lisbon that's in his contract, because they obviously had a big problem with their president, their hooligans beating up the player. Like Bastos had like a massive cut on his eye after they raided one of the training grounds. It was absolutely crazy, but of course Gelson Martins is free at the moment. I've seen him play for Sporting against Real Madrid, where I was very impressed. I think he completed more take-ons than any other player on the pitch. I've watched him as well for Portugal when he's made some little cameos, and again, looks skillful. He's a right winger, ticks all the boxes. United. Red. Moving on to the biggest story point. Why we're all here, Pogba plus cash for maybe Marco Verratti. Yes, guys, I am also a little bit afraid about this because I like Marco Verratti, but I bloody love Paul Pogba. For me, Pogba is a better all-round player than Marco Verratti. Paul Pogba would give a Manchester United team a lot more than Marco Verratti. I'd like them maybe in the same team. I think you'd have to have a little bit of bite in there, like a Verratti, Pogba, Fred midfield would be absolutely sick. But these rumours that United are going to go out and give Pogba plus cash for Verratti is absolutely rubbish. That's being reported in a paper that I will not mention the name of because it's disgusting in what they do in the world, but they don't even mention a source. They just say that this is going to happen. Utter, absolute BS. And that is why you subscribe to Full Time Devils, and we've got tomorrow transfers today, right now, because of that type of stuff. Like, that is absolute rubbish. We're going to tell you it's rubbish, so you don't get afraid. Don't get afraid, guys. There's a different angle as well from the Daily Express, saying that Mino Raiola has just offered him to Manchester United. Just offered, of course, Marco Verratti to United. Trying to get another move. Again, these super agents, they're just in it to make money. So frustrating. But interestingly as well, another report that's come out today is saying that Mourinho is pushing Pogba to sack Mino Raiola. And apparently he's tried many times. Do it, Paul. And you can stay here forever. Just over there, actually. I live pretty close to Old Trafford. I can see it out the window. Pogba, you want to stay there. But again, Marco Verratti's an interesting player. I was asked in the pub, actually, I was sinking a few beers with the boys, and one of the lads was sort of saying, would you take Verratti or Rakitic? And it was a really interesting question, because again, Verratti, young, still 25, still got a lot of football ahead of him, or Rakitic. And I was kind of like, even Rakitic, because not only has he done so much good stuff with Sevilla and then Barcelona, but what he did to cover Lionel Messi and do the hard yards defensive work, and as well, he's a brilliantly technically gifted player. You watch him in Croatia as well. One of the reasons why Croatia have been so good in the World Cup so far is because Rakitic and Modric have a good relationship, where Rakitic holds, plays more of a destroyer, even though he's a fantastic ball player, allowing Modric to move around and dictate the play. But again, with Marco Verratti, I go back to the 6-1 defeat to Barcelona in the Champions League. PSG lack leaders. The Man United need another player that's almost going to be a passenger in the side. Verratti, did he turn up in that game? Absolutely not. For your deep line player in that game, you want him to sort of slow the tempo down. You want him to try and control the game. You want him to try and get on the ball. It was absolutely awful in that game. It was rubbish, got booked, had a terrible night. And again, this is the big thing. Would I swap Paul Pogba for Verratti? Absolutely not. Verratti last season, 2 goals and 2 assists. Pogba, an injury hit campaign, 6 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League alone. That's the quality. But Verratti is a brilliant player. I'd play him higher up the pitch. I wouldn't play him as a defensive midfielder. I'd play him as a free 8 as Manchester City do it, that type of position. But at the moment he's too deep, he's not getting enough. You're thinking he's playing with Mbappe and Cavani and Neymar. Surely he's going to be hitting balls out the back over the top to them and getting assists that way, or threading through balls in. And again, it just, for me, this is absolutely rubbish. What do you guys think in the comments? This is the last time I'll be jumping into the comments now, guys. We need to sign Maradona. Excellent. That is why I love the comments. This is beautiful stuff. Verratti is good. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm just saying that there's been temperamental issues with him over the last few seasons. And you combine that with the fact that Thomas Tuchel loves a defensive midfielder that plays, like Julian Weigl at Borussia Dortmund before then. You think that he's not going to let him go. Guys, this has been fun today. Get your last type of things in here. Would I take Loftus-Cheek at United? Yeah, I think he's a very talented player, but is he as good as people make out? No. Moving on to more questions. Rabiot refuses to sign a new deal, and there's 12 months left. I would love to get Rabiot. Over Verratti and Rabiot, I'd probably go Rabiot, because every single time that PSG come to these knockout stages in the Champions League, he stands up. He scored against Real Madrid when they got knocked out this season. He played really well in that game, pressed really well. And I'd prefer that over someone like, Verratti at the moment. Because I think he needs to get to 28, 29. He needs to play more football in a commanding sort of deep line position. But anyway, keep getting it. When is Blin leaving? Hopefully never. News on Willian, not too sure about that. Rabiot's got 12 months left, lovely stuff. Need a left-footed right winger. Yeah, I kind of agree. The thing is the fullbacks. If you get good fullbacks, you can do what you want in those wide positions. You can play left footers on the right footers on the left, right footers on the right, whatever you want. It's just all about getting good fullbacks, and then you can do what you want. You can absolutely chill. Rabiot to Arsenal, Xhaka to PSG. I wouldn't want to take that. Mourinho is spot on with Mino Raiola. He is scum. We need Modric, Smalling, Fellaini. What a nightmare. Well, hopefully Marouane Fellaini will be signing a new deal, hopefully in the next few days. Leon Bailey would be a good signing for right midfield. But anyway, guys, that's for me probably enough today, guys. We've probably chatted enough about football. Thanks for tuning in, and of course, make sure to subscribe if you're new to Full Time Devils and like that goddamn video. Check out Stephen Alson's transfer review that went up today. He probably talks a load of rubbish. But anyway, Statman Dave, over and out.